What's up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to Let's Play Cyber Knight's Flashpoint. We've got a procedurally generated mission for Origami Joe, our gun runner. Basically looks like we're just going to make whatever money we can make from looting everything, which means we're going to try to loot everything we can. We get the nice bonus influence, we get the Matrix Snoop in here, and so that means we're going to run our hacker as part of the squad. We are basically this +1 mission away from Joe getting his next limit break, so that we can get level 4 guns out there. Otherwise, I'm kind of waiting. And yeah, not much else to say, except we're going to start this mission, and then we'll talk about base building and other leveling stuff later when that's going to be available. Well, it's going to be the same dialogue every time for these raids, so I'm not going to bother reading through them anymore. But essentially, we're going to make what money we can. We're not getting paid for it directly, but hey, if we get a bunch of kills, we get a pretty good payday. And of course, we want a bunch of loot, so welcome to the resupply station. We are stealing from Warner Braun here, so we have, you know, middlingly powerful corporate guards. Got 3 relatively nearby. I do want every single box that I can. I think I want to act before any of the guards get to go. Also, if you have been watching other videos on the channel, they updated the sort of tech under the hood for character headshots, so I think it looks a lot nicer, higher quality, so I'm really happy they did that. Looks pretty cool. Anyway, let's think about what plan we're going to have. So we're still in a spot where our guns aren't too loud, such that we can usually knock down people and not get heard by more. I am unsure if this is going to work for me. I feel like the angle of attack is going to be too narrow. Yeah, I look at that with the AR and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work otherwise, so let's just not bother. I'm going to go here. I think this shot's going to be... Well, no, this gun has good range. I should use the range when I can to knock people who are kind of far away. So I'm going to run up here. I'll get spotted. I don't really care. I don't have any other guards in audio range, so this should be fine. We expect to clear up all 3. Nice crit is pretty good. I'm going to... Let's see. Yeah, I can't pistol, so all I really have is AR again. I can hope I get the coin flip, or I can go full auto and increase my odds pretty heavily. Let's increase the odds. Cool, looks like I hit at least twice. Not a bad start. We go on to the Urban Assault. Ultimately, let's see. Who should be running forward? Who should be running sideways? I guess one of my gunners should be running sideways. I only have 1 Matrix host. No, there's 2. So my hacker should run up to here and get to this host. My Agent EX probably wants to run this way as well to help knock things down, and that means we can have Sprinkle like run across, knock down corpses, things like that. So I'm actually going to do a short yield. I'm going to have Sprinkle actually try to lead this charge. So I'm going to put you... If you're there, you're not in shotgun range. So I can basically run to, like, here. Shoot once. There's nothing else I can do except, yeah, let's just run into as close as we can. Shoot with the shotgun. I could have shot from farther away and built up less recoil to start, but this also guarantees a glancing hit from range, so don't really mind that. Some decent damage there. He's not quite dead. We got to clean him up, of course. And you figure, yeah, okay, let's try to be as clever as we can. I'm going to yield and have the Agent EX knock this kill down. Since I think his turns are less precious than the hackers. Let me see if I can get to a spot where I can shoot both of them. Looks like it's going to be from there. That looks decent, so I can get that kill and then immediately turn over and shoot the next one. Looks like I don't need to go full auto, so I'm going to try to preserve a little bit of recoil and some bullets. Then switch here. This should be decent. Not quite dead, but it's okay. It's expected. We've got a very, very low chance to hit, but 19 is greater than 0, so we'll try. I'm not surprised it wasn't successful. That's okay. It's time to clean this up now. So I figure this revolver pretty much guarantees it. Down you go. And it's time to run forward. I don't want to run too far in any given sprint, just to make sure I don't get randomly spotted. I guess I might have screwed up here because this camera is likely to turn and as a result spot my hacker. I think being around here should be safe enough. But based on where it's standing, right, I expect it to sweep like this. And so we'll see if I get some tally as a result. It's not the end of the world. Ultimately, needing 9 kills means we probably need reinforcements anyway. But I find it good to delay heat when I can. So +2 tallies expected, nothing too special here. It does go up that way. It'll probably go back down before too long. I don't know what you're doing, but it's probably running toward the cameras. I'm not in a rush to kill you. It's not a big deal yet. I do want to knock this camera down, though, with a line crawler, so I'm going to run pretty far up. I guess ultimately just yield and let him go is going to be correct here. Let me... Yeah, I'm going to look to dissolve this body here. And then, as mentioned, we're going to have you run and grab boxes, so 2 AP to go there. And again, we're just looking for optional loot. A nice level 2 sniper rifle is going to be nice. I think that's going to be stronger than what I can buy in the market right now. I think eventually that gets passed, but doesn't yet. Again, going to yield and let the guard move. Okay, you are going to be standing still. Good to know. That can make things a little awkward for everyone else. I don't think I can kill you just yet, and I can't really get all the way up to this box. Not in a useful way. Also, you're at 19, so I would have to drop your initiative in order for this to be any good. That's kind of scary. I'm still going to try to advance. Yeah, there are quite a few guards here. I'm just going to run to here and hide behind this box. Ultimately, the rest of my team isn't ready to help, so let's just make some progress and then, you know, eventually get the rest of what we need. I'm just going to run you straight forward. Should be no worries with this stuff. And then again, line crawler should be good. It might bounce to other high-value cameras, so no big complaints there. And then for the Cyber Knight, I'm going to grab this loot, so we're going to knock down this pressure sensor, run across, and then come back out. Thankfully, you can path around this fence and not get clipped by the motion field, so... Okay, some minor extra loot there. Do I want to go out the right, actually, instead of going out the left? I think let's try going out the right. I often go out this way, but let's just see what this pathing looks like. Yeah, don't want to go through that, so let's just go right behind the EX. That should be reasonable. And then most of the squad can go fight from here, and we'll see what that looks like. I don't normally path that way in this map, but I think it'll be pretty decent. So 2 tally as expected. Camera moves, but we're not on it. If it comes down this far, it'll see this body, but let's hope it doesn't, I guess. I won't be able to turn it off in time. So once again, let's delay and see what the guards do. We know that you're standing still, but the other ones can certainly move. There's a corpse there I should try to get rid of. I don't believe I have... Yeah, I don't have 1 action point dissolve yet. So I'm going to run up to the edge of the range. Let's make sure we're safe so I don't waste 1 AP later. That should be decent. We're going to end you there. Next turn you dissolve, then grab the loot. That should be fine. Help delay some tally. We'll leave you where you are as well. Let the last 2 guards move. Okay, you're standing still also, but this one's probably moving. He is, but he's going away. Alright, cool. So those 2 should be pretty easy to deal with. I do want to kill these 2 guards. It's going to be hard to get this kill from how far we are. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to start with a yield. And I'm going to see what I can get with the EX. And then kind of play it by ear from there. So I need to line crawl this camera. And I want as much damage as I can afterwards, which means something like this, where I get into some decent cover. That's going to be 18 meters range. Let's make sure this gun is good for it. Yeah, good enough. I don't mind that. So we'll put you here. We know about a couple more guards, but it's not a big deal. Let's go. I guess one thing I could do is use shadow to drag people around farther. Your vision cone is like this. So if I was to shadow... Well, if I was to walk... shoot, yeah, because I'm behind the wall, it's a little bit awkward here. So let's just not bother with that. I'm going to go ahead and just line crawl this camera, as I said I was going to. And I believe we'll have the damage to clear this out. So we'll start here. And we'll have everyone else try to finish this kill. So for you, for the hacker, you can run at least 1 step forward to start, get close to the host. I'm not worried about the other patrol paths yet. I think, yeah, you're far away even if you do run forward. And we're going to be safe, make sure we get the kills, so we'll spend all the shots here. We don't get guaranteed glancing hits, so odds were actually, yeah, so odds were we didn't get that kill. In fact, we were probably expecting to miss one of the shots, so a little bit fortunate there, but let's see. So the best thing I could probably do for myself is to trigger this motion field so that I can get this kill guaranteed, because I don't want to risk it. So we're going to get 1 tally. Okay, we're really guaranteed to get this, which is kind of nice. And so because of that, actually, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. I'm going to crouch up to here and use 1 action point for the pistol. I think that gives me the most movement I can in a turn, and I believe this is a guaranteed kill. Because you have very little health, and I'm guaranteed a glancing hit from you being a surprise target. This pressure sensor here is going to be annoying down the line, but oh well. So we get, not an escalation, but we get 1 guard informed. So Natsu's going to move off of the fact that someone triggered a motion field sensor. He's on his normal patrol, but I have hidden myself pretty well. He cannot see that body due to the boxes, but he's in a pretty inopportune spot for me. I'm going to still leave you here. Let this guy move. Actually, if you move, I'm in a little bit of danger. I might need to go for the assault rifle here and get some meaningful damage out. Oh, actually, Linecrawler bounced there, which is pretty fortunate. So I think we're just going to go loud here. It's going to be a little awkward, but I think it'll be okay. You're going to hear gunfire. I guess you could try to step back enough that you don't. If I go to here, only 2 hear gunfire. I'm going to just shoot you because I can, and then because you're going to walk towards me, I care a lot. You'll see a body, but I think I can handle that at the end as well. So we just step forward a little bit. Full auto looks decent here. Pretty good damage. And then with my little bit of spare action points, we're going to just lurch a little bit farther forward. And then I'm pretty confident my Agent EX can clean out the rest of it, so decent shot there. I did take probably some undue risk here, to be honest, because if this doesn't work, I'm in a really bad spot. Well, I mean, at worst I can burn smoke and it'll be okay. But yeah, this guy's going to hear a lot of gunfire and be pretty annoyed. So that's going to be a whole thing, and it just... Well, I put myself in the situation, so it is what it is. This should look pretty good. I'm expecting the kills. That guy up there is going to report gunfire and a corpse. And realistically, even if I throw smoke down or something, he's going to see me and be alarmed about an invader. End of the day, can't do much about that, so we're just going to throw smoke anyway. We'll put both of our people in smoke. End the turn. Here on our patrol, you will probably see the corpse. Yep, okay. So we are going to get an escalation, but we're safe because we're in smoke. You're going to investigate. Of course, you saw the body, so you're immediately going to hunt around the fact that you saw a corpse. And taking that as more important than investigating the gunshot sounds. Fair enough. So because these guys are basically both reporting the body, there's not much reason for me to go and jump for combat right away. The nice thing is the last 3 guards are on the map that I would need to get kills to get the bonus money, so that's kind of nice. But again, the primary thing I need to do, or want to do I should say, is get up here. When I can, I still want to dodge escalation or tally or whatever, so we're going to still run up here. He'll be there no problem next turn. You can dissolve this corpse. You can grab some loot. This might magnet in, we'll see. I think I will. I think it's just barely in range. Another sniper rifle, and this is a shotgun, I believe. And then I'm expecting them all to run over that way, towards here, so... Here, I guess I'll be safe and kind of hide behind this wall a little bit. This should be safe enough that I'm not worried about it. Alright, we get reinforcements already. Thankfully, they won't find any corpses. We've got a captain, and looks like maybe a shotgun or a fire comm? I can't quite tell behind the scaffolding there. Yeah, it looks like we've got a fire comm, we've got a captain, and we've got... oh, you're actually a shotgunner. Okay, yeah. So, reasonably high quality reinforcements. They're all armored. They're quite healthy. Again, we're at power level 3 here, so we're slowly ramping up into stronger and stronger enemies. Bump my team's initiative, and realistically, I need to reload this AR. I want to be in a spot where you don't get the gunfire, because the longer we can wait without you knowing anything, the better. So I'm going to run out to here. They'll see me. It's fine. They're in combat. That's okay. Looks like I just barely can't hit both of them. That's really unfortunate. If I take a step back, I probably can. So it looks like I'm going to go to here to enable that. I think that is correct to do. Just going to hope that I got... Yep, that is correct. Good. And that wasn't great. We only hit each of them once. Bad start. I'm going to have you yield so that the EX can do more. Actually, we don't need to leave smoke here. Agent EX can shoot out of his own smoke grenade, so... I have a couple options here, though. One of them is actually to run up for a shuriken wave, so the radius is not bad on this. The downside is the gunshot noise. But if I run up for a shuriken wave, that allows me to deal some free damage and lower their evasion, which gives me hit chance, right? Which is nice. It's functionally more damage per bullet on average. The tough thing is, as I reload for full ammo, The tough thing here is I am unsure if the cone is going to be wide enough. I think it will be. Okay, I'm willing to take this risk then. I'm going to run up to here. You're going to hear the gunshot. I think it's fine. Shirk maybe for a little bit of damage. Minus accuracy. And, okay, I'm wrong. I got to take a step back to get the shot. I don't think I mind that too much. And it actually means that, so, I mean, I basically wasted 2 action points just for, well, wasted 3, right? I walked 1 step forward, spent 1 on Shirk away, then 1 step back, so that was 3 action points. Probably just shooting full auto in extra time would have been better, so probably a mistake there, but at the end of the day, at least I got to use the talent, and I still can't yield far enough, can I? No, Sprinkle's not going to be in range anyway, so I've got to clean this kill myself. So I'm going to spend, yeah, 1 action point to stand here. He should have line of sight. If it kills, great. It does. That's good. And you can go right into hacking. So pretty clean there. Welcome to a host we've already revealed. We can, let's see. So we can turn off that gate. And we can turn off a whole lot of other security devices that, you know, is generally pretty useful. So I care about the top side here a decent amount. Load all the normal stuff. And yeah, just got to path through. Connection use is a must clear. Tally. Program loading I can maybe skip. I can definitely skip that. AP cost to all actions. Go through there. I'm going to go through the bottom first to spike the CPU relatively early. And then clear the top half after that CPU spike. This allows me to bypass both of these nodes, which means I get to path more efficiently overall. Scan, we see that there's traps down here. Load a program, use a program. Okay, might not have to load any programs. Actually, I will because I need scan, so have to do that anyway. Scan for the neighbor. I have 20 action points. I gotta be careful about this one. I'm okay for now, but I gotta make sure I don't end my turn in a bad spot. I can load disarm safely. And then moving costs 2 action points. So I can load this for 5, move for 2, and then we'll deal with this next turn. So pretty good first turn here. Let's go ahead and walk away from those guys. They don't need to be part of this combat at all. I want to be far enough away that you don't spot me. And that you don't spot me. So if I go here, I am expecting to not have to worry about you. So I'm just going to pretend that's going to be true. I expect to not have to care. I could have thrown a Toxica before I left, but I actually believe I can fully bypass them right now. Looks like only one of them, only you, have been told by the AI to go somewhere. And I can probably deal with that. Yeah, you're on normal patrol. You have not been woken up. You're on normal patrol. We've cleared out most of these corpses, so they are not getting us any tally. You, however, are like moderately alert. If you see them run to a post, they are much more angsty, and that can be a bad thing for you. So just to know, by the way. As a result, I'm going to throw a Venom Trap here, which should catch you on your way up. I think that is very likely. And then I'm just going to go ahead and run towards his box and get the loot. There is... I think there should be... Yeah, there should be no new AI tells except for this body type running out. And so someone, you know, one of these 4 people is going to be told to run over this way, which is going to generate tally when they see the corpse, but is not going to be in my way, so I don't really care. Line Crawler keeps winning. Okay. Well, I think we'll grab this loot. I'm not in a rush. Well... Yeah, so you've been told to walk over here. That's fine. I'll just delay. I might as well. Let's keep the hack going. Use a program. Ow, but whatever. Take these. Okay, let's go ahead and null-op the CPU. Great. Looks like we have some traps to deal with. Let's go load some other programs first as well. Alright, we've got download a file, exit the node. Okay, well, we'll disarm you. Take these. Scan for nearby stuff. Again, we're going to go up this way. I'm going to need disarm, and I'm going to need scan as well. I will need to exit the node, so I got to get rid of that. Let's go here. We need to get rid of this and that. And then, let's see. I care about 1, 2, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 4. Got it. Okay, well, there's 1, 2, and 4. And we'll double check. Yep, I can't knock that one down. Anyway, that one's already gone. We got you. We got you. And we do not care about these. Yep, okay, we got what we wanted. Let's scan. We've got active ice here. Actually, I don't really care about what's on this RCU. I don't want to knock down that gate. There's nothing there for me, so I'm just going to disconnect. First host is done. That sense is going to get me unless someone knocks it down. I think Unique might have the tools up. Yes, Scramble is available. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and make this easier to get through. That one was not tagged to the host, so I couldn't get anything for it if I wanted to. Had to go manual. So let's go this way. Yeah, I'm going to keep waiting and let the guards all have their turns. You're going to go investigate that corpse. You are on your patrol. Not too scary. You're on a normal patrol. You're going to keep going. Oh, you're actually done moving? That's odd, but okay. Don't know why that is, but have fun with that one, buddy. Nice. We get a pretty solid SMG blueprint and the crafting materials with which to make these weapons. Okay. Have there been any body timers that haven't been discovered? Looks like these two. Well, I still want kills, so I'm going to move toward this guard. I think hiding back here is going to be very safe, and I can grab him at a later turn. Is there anywhere else I could hide that would be good? I guess maybe... Nah, I kind of like being like right here. I think this is fine. So, I'll be there. That'll be fine. We know you're okay. Let's have you grab this. So I have an exit right by this host, and I have an exit right by this box. So someone can kind of pat this way and get ready to leave. Hacker goes here, of course. Yeah, I'm going to leave you basically behind this box that you don't get seen by the camera. You should be fine there. Hacker's going to start making a beeline. Not going to reload. I don't think I'm going to need to. And we'll send the Cyber Knight over this way. To be safe, I'm going to go 1 AP short. Go for look ahead. And make sure there's no shenanigans here. You're going... Okay, you're doing nothing special. That's kind of what I assumed. So that's just fine. The escalation may result in the AI sending guards around. I guess we'll see. A guard is missing. Escalation level 2. Permutation is body timers. Okay, we're going to get a lot of escalation very soon. It's going to be like 3 or 4 corpses popping. Yep, you're still not special. You still are on the way, but I'm alright for now. We know that you're not moving, so I'm just going to run in a straight line here. Grab the loot. No need to reload. 3 shots is enough for now. Yeah, nowhere close to the box. Kind of expected. We should still let you waste your turn. You're going to try to make confirmation. Yep, there you go. You found the body. So, angst has been acquired. He's running, which again means he's heightened suspicion. Okay, this thing lied about where you're patrolling. That's good to know. Thanks, game. Puts me into Overwatch, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to report this real quick. So this is... Okay. Okay, so this is... Yeah, so... Jibo was unaware and wasn't told to do anything by the AI. Look ahead said he was simply going to turn to the side, but instead he ran up to my hacker as part of a patrol path. Something was wrong with Look Ahead's prediction. And I'll say Sec AI wasn't involved. I mean, I could double check from the footage, but I'm pretty sure that he was not told by the AI to do anything or move around. Anyway, there's the bug. Okay, great. Actually, while I'm here, I've got a second bug to report that I've just been neglecting to send, but I'm waiting till the report goes through, and then I will send the other one. I'm sure they know, but I'll send it to be a good citizen. Yeah, so minor bug here, but every talent looks like it has 5 charges. In-game character UI, inspection UI says everything has 5 charges. Screenshot should be very evident here. This one's kind of hard to miss, I think. So I'll just wait till the report goes through, and okay, cool. So the nice thing about this guard being in Overwatch is I can just shoot him, and he'll get out of Overwatch. And no one else is in earshot range, so nice crit, good job. I do love getting crit chance my Cyber Knight. It's just a really, really good damage multiplier. I do something like, I'm gonna guess around 10% more damage on average due to crit chance, which I know is not the most exciting number, but it definitely adds up, and you can kind of further improve it. You can invest further and make it better and better. So camera will likely see my hacker when it turns. However, we're escalating next turn anyway, due to the fact we're going to get some potential tally on turn 8. So I don't really care this camera sees me. I want to be as movement efficient as possible. You are still not moving, which I find surprising. I can report this one too, actually. Okay. Guard is frozen in place. Part of his... not sure what happened here. He ran forward as expected on his first turn after being told by the AI to investigate. For 2 to 3 turns now, he's just been standing here. Isn't behaving correctly, I think. I do not envy AI fixes. I don't feel like AI is easy to debug and code and script. But good luck to everyone working on that. Alrighty, so I want some priority on reloading. Right now I don't need it because there won't be an escalation this turn, so there will not be new reinforcements, and so I can wait a little bit. I guess I can reload now. I have nowhere to be, really, so we can just say, hey, next turn we'll regroup. This turn, just fill the magazines. So, devices turning on when they can, sure. Oh, I reloaded the SMG. Okay, now let's reload the Urban Assault. And let's kind of group up. Yeah, I have no reason to be anywhere but near the hacker spot, so let's just kind of run this way. There's no important considerations yet. I should actually prioritize reloading here on the Cyber Knight, so I will do so. This is down for long enough, that'll be fine. If reinforcements spawn right here, it's going to be okay. Alright, you are hunting, but you are useless. Hacker can make it on this turn. His talents will be on cooldown, but he'll be okay. 2 turns? 2 turns. Okay. Well, let's load the normal stuff. We're not going to get that far. That's okay. Damage to connection. We've got 2 more active ice here. So, it's really unfortunate when you have low-level deception, because there's only 2 charges here. If you ever run into this pattern, where one node has 1, then one node has 2, it's often optimal to unload, reload, and then go forward. We're just going to tank this security tally debuff here. Because if this was something like, I don't know, unload programs and take 10 damage, it was going to be a really, really awkward, very annoying node to get through. I could have used null op, but then I'd want it for something like the CPU, maybe. So, we go this way and it's okay. We get some extra tally. Tally is not the end of the world, especially with a CPU spike incoming. He's finally moving, hooray! Don't know what happened there, hopefully they can figure it out. Either way, we grab our loot, we take the reload, and yeah, we'll just kind of stay near this exit, and as soon as the hacker is done, everybody can leave and be happy. So here's the escalation, there's reinforcements. The AI is aware of fairly recent body timers that have run out, so some of them may be sent. Looks like they are all unaware, so none of them have been told by the AI to do anything. Fine with me. All boxes are done. Hacker is probably 2 turns away from being done himself. I do have Tactical Surge ready to go. I will probably burn it next turn, and the entire team can get out through that elevator. Should be no problem at all. You're back to hunting, and useless at that. We'll take this down. We'll scan for what's nearby. More deception, of course. This is going to be the CPU, so we null op. It was probably fine. Indeed it was. We need passive and trap ice for this, so fair enough. Load a program can be skipped. Take the downloads. Security devices, that's not a big deal. Neither is that. I'm going to not bother. I'm going to go down here, though, for the other downloads. So let's load scan. Move over. What do I have? One active ice. Okay, great. We take that down. We scan. One trap, one passive. I've got stuff for that. Download and download means I got to get rid of both. Take these, and I'm done. I got my extra spare free loot. Wonderful stuff. All right. Well, let's go ahead and run the team towards the exit. And I believe with Tactical Surge... Oh, yeah, and Spanner having this turn to move as well. We should have no problems getting everybody out next turn. Good times. So, they're going to patrol. They'll see some bodies, probably. There's a decent chance we get an escalation if they see enough. We also have, by the way, a power level 3 sniper here, so... There you go. Not much else to say, except there is one. I don't need to go out this turn on this character, but if I can, so be it. He didn't make it. Ooh, just barely not in the camera. In fact, it wouldn't have mattered because we're getting out during this turn, so any tally it generates doesn't stick. We don't get the escalation because the turn never ends. But it is time to bring the team to safety. So, fairly successful raid. We actually even complete just barely under security level 4, so we get the gold, the red cubes rather, as well. That's pretty solid. I find that red cubes are not terribly useful. I find their purpose in the crafting system is just kind of mediocre, but oh well. Basically, blue cubes lower the price of things, red cubes make them craft faster. I think that's a defensible sort of option, but I guess in more normal difficulties like this where you have money to spare, it's not as big of a deal. So we now got our baseline 80 experience, we get some power level gains. Again, Joe gets some influence, he gains some power level. We got a solid number of gun blueprints, around 4. And here's all the stuff we got thanks to the Matrix downloads. We got a blueprint that we can sell at some point. We got a blueprint that we can jam onto one of our weapons that we craft. And then a good number of files and accounts that we can sell, which should be pretty positive. Alrighty, so we double check how Origami Joe is doing, and I would say he's doing fine. Influence up to 40. Shouldn't he have gained more than that? I feel like this was bugged. I could have sworn he was already at 30. I'm going to send this in. Looks like... yeah, so... I'm pretty confident. I mean, I could go back and double check on the footage, but I am pretty sure he was already at 30. So that is kind of unfortunate, but oh well. I tend to say medium prio for things that are truly gameplay impacting, and low for things that are just visual or tooltips. And high is like, there's a crash or something. That's sort of how I view it. Anyway, let's see. So a Warner Braun corporate VP needs our unique brand of services to help with a problem at a research lab. Cool. Alright. What am I looking to do right now? Basically, I want to generate Underworld Hub tokens. I believe I'm not going for Underworld Hub 3 anytime soon. It only gives you 5% increase on the legwork chance and doesn't make the tokens any cheaper or faster, and it costs 500k, which is pretty expensive. I don't have the ability to level up and get more points on the face yet, but I will be trying to go into efficiency grind and field coordination with this stuff here. Height booster is very strong. And so I think I want to grab that when I can. Cybonite, however, levels up, and I can start getting the next talents. So I'm going to move right away into Rewind, and then when I can, Atomic Stutter. And then when I have more spare, I'll go into Steamroll, and I'll leave Downer for last. To me, there just aren't any other talents that matter to me on Cybonite. I mentioned that earlier. Agent EX levels up. I can make Smokescreen cost 0. I'm pretty keen to do that. I don't think I'm going to need recharge rate. I'm going to stop here and not spend 2 points on recharge. I think I only need it situationally, but I think the minus AP is worth it. I think Supremacy is just kind of nice for the extra points. I don't think I need cooldown there either. Landcrawler bounce chance is pretty reasonable. Making Shadow cheaper is pretty reasonable. I don't think the Signal Griff stuff is worth it. I don't think bumping Shuriken Wave is worth it. Thinking about moving into Aim Lock and Extra Automatic relatively soon. I don't have an easy way to do so. Actually, Talent Cap is a real thing here, where if I want to, like, no matter how I path towards this, I have to, I guess I could go through Smokescreen, through the left, over to Extra Automatic, and then down to Aim Lock. That'd be kind of weird, but I guess it would work. And it would cost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total points. I could unlearn Shuriken Wave, which I do think is, like, you know, fairly mediocre. The other route would be like going through here. I have to learn White Noise instead of Shuriken Wave. And I would need to like go for 7 points here, 8 for dual reload. I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be very different from, right, this 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. It's not really any faster. In fact, this is arguably a faster, you know, faster route overall. I'm not sure. At some point, I'll do this. I'll probably wait until I have like actually good quality SMGs, but at some point I do, maybe like level 15 or something. I want to try to spec out an Aim Lock Extra Automatic build and then move the points here around to like make room. I'll figure it out later. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that just yet. Is what it is. Anyway, I have my 1 unspent point, and we'll just go for Linecrawler Bounce Chance. It's that or Shadow. I'm going to go for Linecrawler Bounce Chance. I think this is just a reasonably good talent. Hacker levels up. I've got more points I can spend. Null Up occasionally wants the damage. Overclock's already done. I'll take 1 point in packet loss. I like getting the second charge here. I think it's pretty valuable. Nearly twice as valuable, to be honest. I've got what I want from Gun Kata. I guess I'll wait to level him when he's actually in combat, so no rush here. How's the Barracks doing? I'm going to need more space relatively soon. I'm already at 8 of 9, so I've got open space. That's fine then. Okay, so we're going to do safety save, and the goal is going to be to pop these all at about the same time when I have 2 Underworld Hub tokens. That's going to be the goal here. All right, let's go time tick forward. We've got a new recruit. Let's grab him now, actually. So he wants us to meet Takeshi. Used to fight together, shoulder to shoulder, in Ward 4. You were a soldier for Zagalis out in the streets of Ward 4. I was a soldier, not a street chopper. I'm sure you know just how professional the gangs of New Boston are these days. They've got their street crews, but I was one of the Hammers. The Los Zagalos Hammers aren't an open invitation club. They're the closest thing on the street to Milsec Spec Ops. Yeah, based on the gear we had, sometimes you think we were being funded by some Milcorp. That's good, because sometimes we're funded by Milcorp or even bigger. If you work with us, you'll see some real alpha gear. So you're a soldier. To be that good, the Hammers must be looking for real elite. What role did you play in the squad? So what trait does he get? Well, he can be a door kicker and be good at close quarters accuracy. He can be a long shot and be good at long range accuracy. Or he can be calm and generally ignore some recoil. Well, considering I want somebody to hold an Urban Assault long term, giving him close quarters accuracy with an Urban Assault is going to be pretty reasonable. So he will be our designated Urban Assault holder in a lot of cases. We did a lot of strikes and assassinations. It's a pretty personal kind of work. If it's personal, I like to be right in the thick of it. You're built tough, and you've got 2 square shoulders. As Upsell has said, you'd be a good gun to have at anyone's back. What do you think, Blur? Well, I've got one more question. It sounds like you're part of a big-time... part of a big-time Hammer. Why are you getting out? Did you end up in some trouble with the Los Zagalas? You can define his backstory. Well, when they raided Barton Prison in 30, I was there, and Bravestar has my name and number. Messy history of the Fenians. Now the Losi boss are trying to play nice, and the Irish don't forget. I'm getting severance pay and the boot. A year ago, I got to fight some club, got ugly and killed a man, and now he's lover some high-up McKellen Corp jockey, looking to put a bounty on my head. So, You know, just attract a bunch of headhunters can be totally fine. I think that's actually kind of enjoyable as spice, so we'll say somebody at McKellen doesn't like you. What he was doing out in nightclub way down in Fens Avenue, I'll never know. I'd ask him if I could. Gave the club security the slip, but not well enough to avoid getting made. Not the kind of trouble that your Los Cigales boss wants to have on his radar, on his roster rather. Well, his McKellen daddy has taken it pretty personally. If he puts a price on your head, then we'll know he's serious and taking it outside the law. It's real trouble, I know, but if I could ride with you for a bit and stay out of sight, it'll blow over. Well, a private word, what do you think? Everyone's got a haunting past. We will weigh that every single time. We can delay, but welcome to the team. Let me back your crew in a fight a few times, and you'll know you made the right choice. Alrighty, well, we've got ourselves a new soldier. Welcome Takeshi Frost to the team. As per usual with a soldier, we respec them. Now, I am declining to pick what I think are overpowered talents in soldier. That means maxing out coordinated charge, I think is pretty OP. And I think the bottom row of Iron Grip is partially bugged and partially OP. Essentially, 10% ballistic as pure damage for an entire turn is a... Like, I would spend a talent point just for that node in and of itself. But it also comes innately with dropping some recoil. So grabbing this would be, you know, kind of a lot. But also, percent less recoil, last I looked closely, was bugged and appeared to be double counting. And so I think, you know, I can take the baseline Iron Grip here, and I will. But since this stuff is bugged and functionally, this is closer to like 40% recoil regeneration down, and this is going to be something like 75% recoil generation down. It's just like way too strong, and so it's, you know, to me, like kind of not reasonable. Savagery, I think, is extremely overpowered. I think it is probably the single strongest combat talent in the game. It maxes out as 50% ballistic as pure for this and the next turn whenever you get a kill. That is ludicrously good, and it means anyone is a one-man killing machine. It's just kind of honestly ridiculous. Everything else, though, I think fair game. We'll take Marker Sights, we'll take Iron Grip, we'll take Overwatch. I'll have to path around to get into Pop Slot and Run and Gun and stuff. The one downside is Pop Slot's really only great if you're using a regular AR for the 2 action point reload, getting down to 1 and getting down to 0. But Urban Assault already has a 2 action point reload, and so there's not that much upside to doing so. I don't care enough for Red Dot. I'm not going to bother getting this. I don't care enough about grenades and shock mines to grab Blast Radius. I'm not going to bother with Entrench or roll with it because I'm not going to really take damage. Splat Pat is fine. Run and Gun seems pretty playable, but yeah, and it is all ranged accuracy, so it will work with, you know, an Urban Assault as well. Plaster Cross, I'm not probably going to go for because it makes me go for a Burst Fire shot when I'd rather full auto and get more hits. But I will probably say let's path it this way. Covering fire is probably not quite what I want. Debuffing enemies' move points and accuracy doesn't really matter when they're not going to be able to shoot at me anyway. So what I got to figure out is actually the optimal pathing. So we'll take Marker Sight's AoE crit vulnerability. That's quite good. I'm going to take +1 charge to Iron Grip. I don't think I need any more here, and I'm not going to go down this way. I don't think I need more charges in Overwatch. So the rest is to figure out the other points I'm going to spend. Not going into Savagery means pathing around like this. Actually, I wouldn't even go into Pop Slot, so it's probably just going to be go up here, grab Run and Gun, go grab Crosshair Lock, go grab Splat Pat. Yeah, it's kind of the play here, so let's just go ahead and do this. I've still got 2 more talents I can learn, so 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right, the rest of the points long term will be upgrading these nodes, but for now, I can, you know, spend an action point to get some solid accuracy and crit chance. That's pretty solid. I can make an attack with some extra firing angle, which is, you know, decent here. A little bit of extra damage here never hurts either, so okay, fine. We can fire full auto with a wide cone and pretty good damage. You can make Crosshair Lock not cost the action point, and you can get some pretty good damage in that first shot here. Right, so for example, right, this one down on Crosshair Lock on a talent with an 8-turn cooldown is for exactly 1 attack, gain 10% ballistic as pure, and 15 range accuracy for this attack. This node says gain it for the entire turn, and future attacks also are going to have less, you know, meaningfully less recoil. That can often math out as, well, you know, functionally that 15 accuracy in some cases. Again, I just think Iron Grip is just sort of overall very, very strong, a bit too strong, whatever. But okay, we've got an extra combatant, which is kind of nice. We can have him unequip a lot of his gear since we don't need that many sets of stuff. All right, so the next plan is going to be basically just getting ready for the next mission and getting these legwork started. We do have open workers, so let's see what's going to be next. I think it's going to be, let's bump the field ops center, which means to do so, we've got to bump the nano scrubber. So let's start that here, although money's going to be tight for building this weapon bench, so I'm going to start by just digging these power wires instead. But we still will be going that way at some point. We're just going to keep hitting co-conspirator for our guy. Should be pretty reasonable. Let's go ahead and move forward. All right. I don't remember what got finished, but who cares? Oh, the nano scrubber is now done. Right? No, it's not. Wait, what am I? No, the other building got completed. Was it cold storage 2? Yeah, it was cold storage 2. That's what it was. Okay. Gonna put some power in the barracks as well. There's still room for more character classes. We don't have a... What are we missing here? Wait, do we have all the classes now already? Cyber Knight, Agent EX, Scourge, Hacker. Oh, we're missing a Cyber Sword. We'll have to hire one at some point, and that'll be our last upgrade to the barracks. Okay, again, time goes forward. NanoFab is ready to craft. Let's go. And what do I want to make? Well, I've got a ton of Sure Shop recipes. So, of note, this Sure Shot is 196 ballistic with 74 accuracy. So, 196 and 74 is the baseline comparison. If we look at available weapons here... Oh, that's my inventory. Sorry, not the market. If I go to the market, there we go. And I say, you know, what do we have here for basic pistols right now? There isn't a level 3 pistol that I can see. So... It's clearly better, right? 196 to 170, clearly superior. The best revolver is 175, 120, and 65. And this is probably worse, right? 160, 132, 62. Right, seems worse overall. 200 and 108 is pretty good for a melee weapon. Let's double check that. 200 plus 108. Let's see. They don't have... Yeah, they have level 2. So, slightly weaker here. And the other melee weapons, I would say, are weaker as well. The best sniper is 350, 67, and 35 optimal. So, 350, 67, 35. And this is... same range. Definitely more damage by 40. Accuracy slightly worse, but not the end of the world. Other comparison is going to be this SMG. If we want to compare the Uzi to the Steel Snake actually might be better. So the Steel Snake is in green and red. Slightly more accurate full auto. Although much less accurate burst fire. Keep that in mind, of course. Minus 11 ballistic damage, but plus 17 pure is substantially more damage per bullet. So in terms of full auto, it is not close. The Steel Snake is just better. In fact, it also holds more bullets in the magazine. The special thing is that the Uzi has a 1 action point reload, which is quite cute, and is pretty good at single target, right? If we compare it to the Sure Shot here, the semi-auto damage, the Sure Shot is a bit higher, granted, but the Uzi has some baseline armor shred, which is kind of nice, 15%, and has the ability when we want to go full auto. Not the most important thing, but, you know, it can be a real comparison. End of the day, I want to craft something, though. These things aren't terribly expensive, which is good to know. Final comparison is going to be the shotgun here. The special one is that it has the double armor shred. Double armor shred only really exists in crafted shotguns and a couple of like a specific set of shotguns elsewhere. But like not all of the market shotguns have this, even some of the really high level ones. So this is pretty useful. But if we say, hey, 75% and 324 at 10 range, our best shotgun here is 360 at 10 range. No double shred though. So 360 at 10 range versus, yeah, much less damage, sure, but it comes with double shred. So if you're using it for the shred, it's a better shotgun overall. End of the day, what do I want to craft? Honestly, probably this pure damage SMG. I think it's a pretty meaningful... Actually, it's the pistols. I think what I want to craft is the pistols, because I am using them a decent amount here. I want to craft the SMG. I'm just going to craft kind of everything. Like, realistically, I'm just going to craft everything. So, let's start with the SMG. I think it's actually the best SMG you can get for a while. I have no blueprints I can add to it, so all I can really do is just make this thing. 42k, 3 days. I can use red cubes to cut down the time a little bit. Basically, I can spend 1 cube and drop off 6 days. And it costs me 1k. Sure, why not? Sure. We're going to use 3 blue and 1 red. Steel Stick's going to be done relatively soon. And we can start, you know, building up some SMGs. Wonderful stuff here. And again, yeah, the baseline crafting cost would be 46. Okay. Alright. Well, we have begun weapon crafting. That zoom is a little tight, which is kind of funny. I'll report that. Zoom on weapon crafting in the timeline is a little tight. Screenshot should be apparent. This SMG craft looks weird on the timeline. Alrighty, when that goes through, we'll advance forward. Unless, yeah, okay, there we go. Cool. All right, got what we came for. Again, let's let these convos move forward. Field Op Center is upgraded in this regard. I just need the nano scrubber to be upgraded. Oh, actually, one thing I forgot to do. This is on me. This is my fault for forgetting. We've got some file sets to mint. Let's hope we get a little bit lucky. We've got files. Don't show me things that are used by a set. We get 110k from the Q Anomaly report. Thank you very much. Getting Dance Hall to owe us some favors, reasonably valuable, but getting 100k, probably more important than that. The money is good. Her favors cost, what? 40k each, so actually it's kind of hard to get favors here. Realistically, getting favors from your Wire Ghost is really helpful because this allows you to buy gold keys, which is where you can get some optional loot. And it allows you to guide their limit breaks, which is valuable as well. So I will say, you know what, here, just give me favors instead. It's pretty expensive, but I actually want them. We'll sell this one for money, though. And this Patient Dossiers is a file set. File sets are worth 20 influence. And as a result, we can sell this to Dance Hall. So put Dance Hall up to 70 influence. And then I can sell Dance Hall one of my purple accounts. That'll put her to 80, and that will put her in line for a limit break. So that now I can upgrade her stuff, most likely. Just going to go make some money here. I'm going to wait until I have something else to do, because selling to these people isn't worth it, in my opinion. But I've got the money now to upgrade the Nano Scrubber, which is good. Barracks underway. I have a spare worker, so I'm going to start digging out more rooms now, as I want to put in a SimStream trainer, SimStream detox, hacking station, things like that. So let's start that. We'll have to bump cold storage at some point, all that as well, but for now it's fine. Alrighty. And yeah, Coco Spreader up relatively soon. I want to save Puppet Master, though, for my Gunrunner still. A Warner Braun corporate VP needs our unique brand of services to help with a problem at a research lab. Well met. I'm sure that we'll be able to help you with your problem, Penny. If you're not aware, the treaty that allowed Warner Braun to join the New Boston Charter stipulates that we enter into 3 joint research ventures. We have to hit certain milestones, commit certain budgets, and reveal specific tranches of protected intellectual property to the UNA researchers. All part of the cost of doing business in New Boston. Please do not get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the cost. The terms were very fair and honestly in our favor. Our legal team was very careful with how the agreement was arranged. And you'll follow it to the letter. Warner Braun is known for its dedication to the details, are we not? But now there's an issue with one of the ventures. We have a young lead researcher who's become confused. It seems that he's losing touch with the spirit of the arrangement and making decisions that are not in anyone's best interest. The spirit of the agreement, as in you're not really sharing? Exactly. There's a misunderstanding about how serious we were when we entered into this part of the treaty. Now, Guy is a very intelligent and gifted young researcher. We don't want to lose him to this. But if he isn't careful, the legal army behind these arrangements will have his head. As we can't afford anything too flashy, we'd like to take care of this on the other side, the UNA side of the equation. The matter is simple enough. Guy believes he has fallen in love with one of the UNA digital team. A hacker named Ain seems to be the one causing all the trouble. I have a simple plan that I need you to execute for win-win solution. We can remove Ain from the situation and give ourselves future ammunition against UNA for future negotiations. We will fabricate evidence that will frame Ain for taking bribes from McKellen Heavy Industries to steal secrets from Warner Braun through the Joint Research Lab. When Guy realizes he's been duped by a well-paid snake in our midst, he'll snap back to the corporate line and be a good researcher for the rest of his days. And it'll be a nice pie in the UNA face. The plan is all drawn up exactly to spec. We have all the details of the McKellen host, where you'll have to plant the financial forgeries implicating Ain in receiving bribes. And someone on your team will help create a secret life for Ain, a luxurious apartment, expensive purchases, all tied to the payments she received to steal from poor, unfortunate Warner Braun. Heartbreak Rush requires us to complete a hack-only job and a legwork. By accepting legwork, we'll also be accepting the mission. If we're not ready, we can delay. I think we are ready to go, though. We've got kind of all this lined up here, so let's start building a second life. We'll go ahead and send Cadillac because she has this sleuth trait. She's going to be pretty good at this one. We're guaranteed to win eventually, but we've got really good hit chances here, so let's send her. Should be no problem. Excellent, and everything is arranged. With Cadillac setting up the fake lifestyle, you'll just need to hack into a McKellen system and implant a few faked transfer records. Once everything is set, Warner Braun will present evidence to UNA, head of security on the lab. We could put bets on how fast the UNA will drop Ain, but I think we can all agree it'll be fast. And we'll be sure that Guy sees all the evidence and realizes his mistake. We'll have our star researcher back. Just make this happen for me. Heartbreak Rush is ready to be planned. Alrighty, so legwork on for 7 days. Heartbreak Rush, of course, requires some hacking. Okay, fine. I'm going to run this hack now because I want my hacker freed up for this legwork stuff. And so we're going to run this right away. It's just going to be running the hack into running this legwork. And then when the next raw mission is ready, that'll be the end of the recording. So really, really good pay thanks to our corporate contact here. That's going to be kind of nice. Penny's going to gain some trust and influence. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and spend the money here, getting extra Cyberdeck IO. This will help make sure that we can complete the hack on time. The upside is too high not to reduce risk here. So here's our guy. Let's start the mission. This terminal has the cords for the target McKellen Heavy Industries financial system plugged in. I'm ready to hack. Alrighty, so spike the CPU, complete before the end of turn 4, not a problem. Welcome to the host. It's a pretty big one. Now, we have seen this exact layout before, I believe. And from what I recall, the CPU was on the right side. I could be wrong. If I am, whatever. Gonna load the normal stuff. We have the IO already from the premix doubler. It's passive leverage, so it popped right away. We've now got a harder host overall, even though it's still green and whatever. You can see there's now 2 ice on the small nodes, so it's more difficult overall. I will tank tally over connection because it's a lot of tally per escalation, so we'll go in this order. I will go down and then up. Actually, well, whatever. I'm already right here. I'll go up and then down. AP cost of connection use is going to be required on both. This is going to have an ice here, so we'll see how annoying it's going to be. Damage to connection. The trap is download an account. Okay, fine. I've got to drop both of them then. First escalation comes in. A little bit of damage, not the end of the world. Load our programs, and we got to keep moving. So the difficulty is that I can't get here, take down ice, and leave. So I've got to be kind of awkward about this, and I have to end my turn early. That kind of sucks. Okay, I'm going to choose to go left. This allows me to... I had to knock this all down anyway to get through everything else, so I think this is correct slightly to get through some program uses a little early. That's all of turn 1. I've only got 3 left. So we'll knock this down, scan the neighbors, reload this because we're going to have to. AP cost, connection use, got to do both. Okay. I'm going to go to the right first, then come back because I have to path this way anyway, and I might get an escalation and get to re-scan that later. Tally goes away. This one blocks program loading, which is fine for now. Damage to connection, scan for traps, load a program. Going to get rid of that actually. And right now I'm going to load traps right away in case this comes back up. I'm going to load this back up as well. Escalation is not that. Good to know. Blocking download access, take the downloads, scan. Oh no, I don't have scan right now. Load scan. Okay, that's a dead node. We're going to leave. Go here. We get a scan again. We find the trap. Download a blueprint. Download access. Okay, fine. All right, so this part's been cleaned up. There's still stuff here, but I need to get to this side. I've got 2 turns left to finish this. So I got to pretty much beeline to the CPU now. Should be no problem, but I've got to make sure I just get it done. Turn 2 complete. I've got to come back here for later. I'll scan when I feel like it. I can always scan this later and get this info gained. AP cost then connection isn't going to be in that order. I'm not too concerned about connection health overall. Looks like I found the CPU. So let's go here. We hit null op. We destroyed 3 ice based on getting all this tally. So we know it's done. Load this. Oh, wait. Wow, really? Do I want to load and use attack or just use null op? I'm going to go for attack. I am surprised there was more there. Wow, there's actually 4 ice on that node. Okay, well, we spike it. Mission complete. That's good. Nothing survives a spike. CPU's been spiked. The virus, along with the forged accounts, has been injected. All right. Well, that's good news. It's a good start. We've got some stuff to deal with still, though, so let's try to clean up everything that we can. We've still got the rest of this and all of next turn. Once again, we can deception this guy. Thankfully, the traps... Oh, there are no traps here this time. Okay. Download access blocked. Got to sleaze that. 2 per action. This is 1 per action, so we'll load deception from here. I'll come in from the left-hand side here. There will be a trap. It should be okay. If you exit, relocate. It's not a big deal. I need to load scan and look at the adjacents. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. I'll take 1 download and then load disarm just to maximize IO, though it should be fine no matter what. I'm still doing both. Let's spend the IO this turn and not next turn. And now it's going to be time for our last turn hacking. So we'll take our final download. I'm going to go here. And this is not too bad, so I can just kind of get rid of everything here. This looks pretty alright. Move up. Damage to connection. Scan for traps. No traps. Get rid of you. Take our downloads. And then finally, we need active ice disruption. Go here. Scan. Find the traps. I likely don't need to kill both traps. It should be okay. Okay, well, not right away anyway. So, take you down. Get rid of this. Need to take down trap ice. Get rid of that. Take our 2 downloads. And then realistically, I don't have the combination of action points and everything. Like, I would have to load scan, use scan, walk over, disable the ice. It is unlikely to work in my favor, so I'm not going to bother. Let's just disconnect and be done. We got the other sets of downloads, though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 download nodes. Mission complete. We got what we came for. Oh, that is the turn done. You're made. Time to get out of there. We possibly could have gotten a bit more pay data with a few more seconds, but at the end of the day, we've got a level 2 cyber deck. We don't have level 3 or 4 programs. It's as far as we're going to get. So, we got that. I do need to remember, I'll wait until we get the limit break from our Wire Ghost. Because we might be able to buy level 3 programs or a level 3 cyber deck relatively soon. Well, the CPU is spiked with the full delivery. All the forged accounts and transactions are in place. Well played. So, good XP for him. We get a good amount of money, which is pretty solid. And we're able to get a lot of optional downloads. Feel good about that one as well. More accounts that we can sell for influence, which is good. Alrighty, so next up, we got some more basically legworks to cover. So let's let the time tick forward. Need one of your mercs on a legwork, smuggling a crate onto a shuttle going to a near-Earth space station. You know how I feel about Gleamers. Someday I've got to get myself up there, so I'm making friends. The package just has to reach Warner Bron's shipping hub on Earth's orbit, LP-1. The launch pad is pretty secure, but the employees can be bribed. Not to get a human on the shuttle, but something small and light like this crate. Not all the way up to the colonies? Nah, my connection to Earth orbit will take care of that. And there's so much infrastructure now up in space. The rockets heading for Venus, Mars, and Jupiter all come off launch arrays in Earth space. The traffic from the surface, it's non-stop. Our broken metacities need them, and they need us, each for different reasons. To get my package on the transport shuttle, Just get my package on the transport shuttle. That's all I need. So how does a person get up there on a Gleamer? That's the dream. That's all I really want. Of course, there are the constellations in orbit of Earth, major luxury hab stations. Those are grand, but you'd better be a restricted shareholder if you think you're living up there. Outside of those hot luxury seats, the spots up there for citizens, there is no corporate assignment more competitive. Everybody wants off this dead rock. Alright, well, I'm going to delay very briefly, because I actually know. Who can work this? Basically, EX or Rhino. Well, because the EX has Megacorp protocols, he's better at this, so we're going to do that here. Even though I'd want him on a different mission, it's not the end of the world. So, Spanner, you're running this. I think I'll start in the gambling dens and clubs near the launch pad with a transport schedule. That's the right place to look. Find someone who needs a little help. A little for this and for that. Or a little this for that, I think is what he said. Alrighty, it is now time for this convo. It's time for the German Connection convo. I'm not asking too much to get the Warner Braun leadership on a fish hook for you, am I? I need Blur in the club holding court. Let's make this happen. Alright, up to you. Get it eventually, after up to 30 days, but you're in there. The party will start when Blur arrives. Thinking big, Unique. Oh yeah, this will be big. I know you were born ready for this. But get ready. We're going over the top this weekend. We can also have some mercs out there with them. They'll be enjoying that, so we can get upsell over there and let our hacker feel good and like us a whole bunch. Having another merc from our crew there could help build up that rep. I don't know how I pulled this duty, but I'm not going to ask any more questions. You always ride the lucky straw, don't you? Go have some fun. Of course, this guy has that positive relationship from the opening mission. You said one more as well. Basically, Sprinkle is, you know, one of the core crew, so giving him more loyalty and whatnot I think is worthwhile. So you're going to send there as well. I was done something right to get picked for this one. Alright, well, that's everyone we can spare. Blur is the most important piece of this puzzle. Having her make a nightly appearance as a VIP in the club is going to make all the difference. Bringing in both the other mercs is a stroke of genius. They can be Blur's menacing foils. Then I will see you tonight, Owen. You better go get your club geared up for this party. Cool. So they are on legwork. There is a... Yeah, I have just actually a million legworks going on, which is kind of funny. So plus 20% chance. Make aggressive moves immediately to support the field ops here at the hub. We'll get this done right. Can't afford to miss. Sure thing. So chances go up. 95, 82, 100. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. I am not full on tasks, so I've got to get something else on the upgrade. I did want one more level on barracks eventually, not an immediate rush here. I think cold storage is actually... Oh, right, I need to get the nano scrubber better before that happens. Underworld hub is not worth it. Field ops level 2 would be, but I'm waiting for scrubbing there as well. So let's just dig out the rest of these rooms then. I've got money to spare, so it should be fine. And then after limit breaks come through, I'll have money and be able to make... Oh, right, the NanoFab actually finished one of the guns. Let's keep that going then. I built an SMG. I'm not going to build this one because I don't think it's really all that good. And in fact, if we compare to SMGs in the market, 67 and 80... Excuse me, 67 and 86x7. And yeah, it's not as good as the Uzi that's available here, right? Accuracy slightly higher, but the damage slightly lower. I think technically DPS-wise, the other one is slightly stronger, but by such a small degree that it's not really worth it in my opinion. But I want to craft something though, so let's get that going. We'll just build a sniper rifle. I can add blueprints here, but I don't want to bake on these mods until I'm using high-level blueprints, and I can use gold cubes to add extra effects here. So we're going to go kind of make these the normal kind of low frills way. I am willing to burn through my red cubes here since, again, I'm kind of swimming in money, so let's just, you know, make some stuff, you know, kind of cheaply and easily. Yeah, that zoom is kind of funny. Alright, well, at least the buildings are in use. That's good news. Let me double check my contacts and their influence levels. Yeah, you're at 80, you're at 80, so surely one of these at some point will... Oh, she's busy with a storyline right now, so she might not pop. We'll see. But someone should limit break at some point, is what I'm expecting here anyway. We've got a mission offer. That's cool. We've got to wait till everyone else is done first. We've got a personal favor about this guy's son. Okay, we got to keep that one in mind as well. It's going to be another legwork here. I've got to make sure that somebody's free to do it. It should be no problem, but we got to make sure it's okay. So before these are all due, before the ones that actually have a chance at failing, we'll have to make sure we pop the discussion and then use the Underworld Hub token. In the meantime, the Nano Scrubber is done, so we can bump the field ops. Great. We get tokens basically a day and a half faster. We get a third available token, and we get to upgrade, get more stuff going on. So that's going to be nice. Okay, well, still busy with all that. That's good news. And yeah, she's busy still. Okay, fine. Sniper rifle is complete. Let's go craft another weapon then. I guess we could build a shotgun. We could build a revolver. We could build a pistol. Let's go build a shotgun. As for optional blueprints, we actually have a lot of shotgun mods here. And because of that, actually, and I'm not going to be using every single one of these, right? There's no way I'm going to use every single mod in every shotgun craft. But I can actually use some of them early and just, like, make a slightly better weapon now. So if we sort by power level, we can innately lower recoil, which I think is of very, very low value. We have these rails, which, yeah, so I can add some pure damage, which is pretty solid, or I can add pure damage and some optimal, like some max optimal range, which is very helpful for being accurate at a decent distance. We can get more max optimal from the grip here as well. I'm probably going to hold on to this one. And then there's an even weaker driver, which is actually, this is interesting. It's just straight up flat max range. So because of the grip here adding max optimal, if we look at how this weapon works, right, the max range is 13, the optimal is 10. Now, shooting at 13 range is only -9 accuracy. It's not that bad. And so, like, yeah, I can get a conditional 1 to 9% accuracy increase if I increase the optimal range. But the max range is the important thing that I would actually really need to use to make sure I can do something successfully. And so actual max range increases are really, really valuable. And there aren't a lot of mods that do that. Most things give optimal range, which is nice, but again, it's basically just conditional accuracy. Increasing actual max range is a big deal, but I've only got 2 copies of Blueprint. So I don't want to put it on, because then I will only ever have one of these left, unless I can find another one, but that's based on luck. So I would rather throw on one of these and just be like, yeah, look, it probably is slightly stronger if I were to, use this in the shotgun, but I've got extra copies here. So why not just get some optimal range and get some pure damage and just have an accurate shotgun. So I can also, well, the scary thing now is price point. I can, of course, make it go through faster, but I can also make it cheaper. The question is, which one do I care about more? I think realistically, we'll just spend a few, cut it down by 10%. It's going to be enough here. I have a 10% chance to get an extra mod thanks to the barrel mod being baked on. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Let's safety save just in case something goes weird, but we're going to let this legwork be done. We got our influence limit break, and we now have level 3 Cyberdex, so that's a big upgrade here. We could Puppet Master, and by doing so, we'd be able to... Actually, I'm gonna use Puppet Master here, because I am multiple missions away from my Gunrunner being able to limit break, probably. So we're gonna say, let's do this. Let's bump both services, and that way I can get level 3 Cyberdex and level 3 programs, and I think to me that's worth it. So let's confirm that. And now as a result, Dance Hall is much stronger. We can go to the market and we can say, hey, we've got better Cyberdex now. Do I want to go from this to this? For 250k, I actually lose some stats and I gain only 20 IO and 40 memory. Not worth it. We'll wait till we go to level 4. That's fine. But for the programs, it's actually pretty relevant here. I'm ultimately going to want... the big ones are Scan 3 and Deception 2. These are the biggest power spikes here. The reason why is if you look at Deception 1 and Deception 2, you're always going to see the rating go up by 1, which is you need a high enough level Cyberdeck to hold this. Okay, whatever. The size is plus 40, so you go from 60 to 100, sure. But the big thing is you get plus 1 charge, but it's going from 2 charges to 3, so it's 50% more program per load, which basically pays for the IO increase by itself. If you compare to Sleaze, it's +1 charge. It's going from 3 to 4, so it's only 33% more program per load. And on the other side, you have disarm, which is the exact same 3 to 2, but use disarm a lot less deception. So deception is like the most important upgrade, basically. The other side is simply that scan is very, very good, and it's just nice to have scan. The really nice thing here is that it's only 1 action point per scan, and you get a lot of charges on loading it, and so you can get a lot of progress here. So ultimately, if you can afford it, Deception 2 and Scan 3 are really good. I highly recommend them. I think you should have them, and just overall feel good about it. So let's, before I forget, equip the hacker with this stuff. What's nice is there's enough spare deck space that you can actually install both and leave the other programs in. The value of that is that if you're ever IO starved, you can always just like, well, I'll load Scan 1 anyway, it's fine, and, you know, not have to worry about it. You still have these, you just got, you know, the basic sort of strict upside of also having these. And I think until you get a higher level cyber deck here, you're gonna have a hard time fitting more than this. Because you can see, like, hey, okay, 60 plus 60 is 120. This is now 220, right? And then this is exactly 360. Right? I can just barely fit exactly every program in, which is why I say it's Scan 3 Deception 2. This is your first big Cyberdeck power spike, and then Scan 3. Scan 2 is also worth it, but Scan 2, Scan 3, Deception 2 is your, like, sort of next progression. And there's other things you can do afterwards, but that's sort of the opening salvo as far as I'm concerned. I have to say, I would live in that apartment. You and Warner Braun were not shy in funding the fabrication here. The lie. The more extreme it is, the more rapid the UNA will take action against Ain. Everything is in order. All the forgeries are in place. It's time to bring the hammer down. It'll be swift and decisive, and then Guy will see the tranche of evidence and realize his great folly. Penny Cortez is proceeding to launch the allegation against the UNA researcher. Cool. Alright, again, this thing is still very real. So we're going to, for honestly no good reason, make the safety save, and let's talk about this personal favor about his son. So, Chris Bevan. I need to ask you a very personal favor. It's about my son. You may not even know I have a son, but his name is Guy Bevan. Guy is no stranger to trouble. In fact, I think trouble may be his last friend left standing. I've never mentioned him before, what makes him and his trouble worth our time. I don't mention things I like to keep out of sight, but if I wasn't serious, I wouldn't be calling you. Guy has never been where I needed him to be. Instead, it's been theft, guns, drugs, and always trying to weasel his way into gangs. This time he's gone too far. The last thing I know is that he went on a bender on a K-Milieu Syndicate gambling house, and they disappeared into the belly. I can't take this to my people, too much risk to my position, but he is still my son. Place is a death trap. It's the bottom of the well. You think he would come back with us? I know it isn't pretty. Certainly the belly didn't get its infamous reputation as a last stop on the train for no reason. If Guy is down there, he is likely in pretty deep. Made it to pay off the syndicates and gangs that hold turf in the belly to get him clear. I'll pay his debts, grease palms, and take the quiet path when you can. Just tell me what you had to front. We'll also need an easy way to ID him. Whoever goes there is going to need to be sorting through a lot of flop houses. And for fun, we can ask some pressing questions. What's the reason you want him back? Image or blood? Is it helping unique? I want to know who I'm working for. Why can't it be Goat? Both. I don't want to see him dead, or just never see him again. But I've worked hard to get where I am. I can't jeopardize that. So what you do if we get him back? I'm working on a transfer. I'm going to find Guy a position doing something, somewhere. Maybe in the Atlanta Sporral. What if he's already dead? You're a ray of sunshine. Look, you don't hire us for the cheery attitude. You hire us to get the job done and to worry about the eventualities. You find Guy dead in the belly and make sure his corpse never leaves that hellhole. One way or another, we'll get his business sorted. Alright, well, who can go? Well, Sprinkle is a under-navigator, so he'd be good at this, but he's busy with the other legwork, so we're going to bring Rhino, who thankfully has that as well. Takeshi is also fearsome, which makes this easy as well, so, you know, we have several people who will be decent at this. We have 8 days. It should be enough time to build another token. So Rhino's going to go run this. A hardened merc in the belly would be able to flip a few flop houses until Guy Bevan fell out. Wait, what are you saying? Why'd you pick me? What about Blur? Oh, you've got jokes. We're not here to discuss why, Rhino. The decision is made. Look, but be sure to pack a change of clothes or two and some concealable weapons. Alright, don't glare at me like that. I'm on it. Okay, so we've got all this legwork in flight. In fact, we've got another one here as well. I mean, we are swimming in legwork right now, which, honestly, fine with me. You want your mercs on a legwork? One of my under-the-table suppliers is trying to dry up on me. They're a corporate source that can hook me up with all sorts of small things. Chems, implant schematic stuff I need, stuff I can't get. So you've been busy in a long time, you just need to keep the status quo. Whatever the issue they have, we just need to convince them trying to leave me hung like this is worse. You can't run an illegal clinic off of publicly available crap. How much do you source like this? Through corporate channels. Far more than you might guess at first look. Megacorps are splitting at the seams with corruption. Everyone in the lower ranks is getting a trash deal, so many are willing to risk it for a little more. Okay, well, we can say and look for a hacker with blackmail. The sleuth would be decent at 60%. It's playable. We can have a combatant at Takeshi, who's at 65. He's slightly better at it, so seems like a good idea to have Takeshi do this. And because he's fearsome, he's decent at it. The fun here will be seeing just how little I have to do to scare them back into line. That's a good time to play, Takeshi. I need them to stick around and keep dealing for a long time. Alrighty, so a lot of things are in progress. Looks like, yeah, there's no more pending legwork. So this Underworld Hub token is going to bump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legworks. Pretty good. This is, by the way, why I really like the Underworld Hub. That is pretty incredible. So these are all basically guaranteed now. We're going to get the shuttle. We're going to get the night partying. We're going to get the German connection done. That's all positive. This episode kind of dragged on for a while due to the fact that we had so much to do at the end. I could stay a little longer. I left something in the booth. I better go back. You know we're waiting for you to come back, Sprinkle. We'll keep the tables warm. The drink's cold. Do I really have to come back? Owen knows how to throw a party. Next time you hit a payday, you'd better come down to celebrate with us. Damn good time, Sprinkle. Unforgettable, messy, just what we both needed. It was a rare chance. I don't know how the two of us lucked out to draw that duty, but I'm glad it was you. And they now have a strong friendship. And we made some friends down near the spaceport, and it didn't cost too much of your UDs, of your United Digis to get that package airborne. Every step's another step toward the stars for me. Well done, Spanner. 2 favors and 20 influence. Okay, pretty solid stuff here. They did just earlier today make sure that things kind of panned out appropriately on the same day, so good to see the timeline update working well here. We will Alpha Strike when we get some combatants back, but for now we're a bit busy. Let's get our hype limit break. We can bump his loyalty. We can increase his calm. Honestly, giving him plus calm is not that big of a deal. So, you know, reaction's kind of nice, but we're going to go for plus loyalty. That seems pretty decent. Slowly, Puppet Master will come back on. I do need to pop Co-Conspirator. I should do that now and put it back from cooldown. The thing I'm worried about is if I pop Origami Joe early and... yeah, I'm going to send Dance Hall with Co-Conspirator. Because I don't want to... Yeah. No, let's just send it. Whatever. It's fine. Co-Conspirator to Origami Joe. We can work out a mutually beneficial agreement. He was at 40, right? Check the timeline for a mission. And we get another scav raid. Okay, fine. Well, he's still at 40, so I don't think he got anything from Co-Conspirator, but oh well. We'll get that later. It's fine. Clean room. We're going to go for our hacking stations. Let's start digging out power wires and whatnot. Also Simstream Trainer and Simstream Detox. All the above, really. Heartbreak Rush was a hell of a success. They dropped AIM even faster than I'd expected. I don't think the security officer even looked closely at the evidence. AIM was escorted out of the building and her citizenship was voided on the spot. It was perfect. Our researcher, Guy, had a front row seat to the unmasking of the thief in our midst. The plan's success has given a boost to Penny Cortez, giving a surge of influence and trust. Great. Okay, that part's done. Hacking station, let's go. We're low on money, that's fine. We got missions coming up. Remember, you owe me an obligation, Unique. Well, it's time. I'm calling it in. I need you and your team right now. Rush work always costs the most. No, not this one. It's an obligation. This one's in the house, remember? Do we really need to be distracted by you right now? Is this high priority? That's how it works. What do you need? That's what keeps this partnership strong. If I promise you a favor, I always come through. I like to see you don't hesitate when I call in obligations. So what are we jumping into? I've got a defector. Someone I should have buried in the trash heap a while ago if you're looking at 2020. Estelle Shahab worked her way up through my organization to become an important coordinator. Got her hands in everything. Anyone who knows too much can eventually be a liability. Anyone except for your face, you mean? Well, be careful who you trust. That's always the right line to take. Estelle knows enough to do some serious damage, and now she has gone to the law. Of all things, gone over to Bravestar? Bravestar's been very interested in my organization for a long time, so they must have cut a pretty good deal. Estelle is too scared to try and play the mole, so the deal involves extracting her, and protection services, and all that sludge. The Bravestar extraction is scheduled in less than 8 hours. Estelle has gone to ground, so there's no way we'll find out where she's hiding before then. But I know the right time and place, or I know the time and place of the extraction. I need you there. I need you to snuff Estelle out, right in front of her new pals. No, I can trust you to take care of this. Alright, our obligation to you, Octane, is a promise to step in at times like these. If we do not assist, we will permanently burn our relationship to the ground and damage our overall relationship in the underworld. The damage of the burn will flow through any positive and negative relationships that Octane has. The snitch snuff out is ready to be planned at the Command HQ. And is technically you get 1 day for it, but fine. We should be able to let these things tick down, although Blur being available doesn't really matter. Worth noting that we do have enough mercenaries available to work here. 2 of them are on legwork, but not everybody is. I do kind of want the shotgun to be done, if I can help it, since the Scourge is available here, so... I'm going to safety save in case I get the timeline wrong somehow. That shouldn't happen, but like in case I'm really stupid for some reason. Promise me you'll come back, Blur. The club won't be the same without you. You're right about that. But you can keep the booth warmed up for me. When we got something to celebrate, we'll bring the crew down. It was a pleasant interlude, but my real work is calling. Yeah, we'll bring the crew. When we got something to celebrate, I'll be bringing the crew down to, you know, build up your clout. I can see the rave reviews now. Hardened mercenaries and posh faces. Love the nightclub. If you two are done, I get it. Business all the time. No fun. What if that thing in your spine would be capable of quantum fun? A joke! I'm flying high as hell because I delivered as promised. We've started something. We've got their attention. We hooked the first, a Warner Braun corpse splicer by the name of Dorn Stone. Take a look at his V-chip. I'm about to slot it in, and we'll be connected. And he is well connected, and of course, corporate deep pockets. Dorn booked a private suite where anyone from Warner Braun can conduct private business night or day. She has gained the German connection trait and the illicit nexus strength. We've gained an introduction to corpse splicer Dorn Stone. Wonderful. Okay. So we've got a Bugger mission, a Scav raid mission, an Alpha Strike, and of course Snitch Snuff Out. Let's go ahead and have this weapon crafting be completed. Alright, this is now going to be due pretty much right away. We will overwrite the save. And next thing we're going to do is plan out Snitch Snuff Out. So I will see you next time with the roster, and yeah, I'll see you there. Bye-bye.